At one particular time, I did talk about. I did say Terence Crawford.
Okay.
Now, but what are we rating these fighters on? What are we rating these fighters on?
Floyd Mayweather's eyeball test.
That works.
You're
for me.
eyeballing these guys. You watch Terence Crawford. You know why he has his problem getting the other welterweights in the ring with him.
So if he was pound for pound, Floyd was pound for pound. You or Floyd, who would have done that? Who would have won that?
Me. Because I think Floyd at his best was a better defensive fighter than Crawford. Crawford's a better offensive fighter, but in those kind of matchups, I think defense usually beats the offense.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. has now responded directly to Terence Crawford during a live interview, making it clear that he does not believe Crawford deserves a place on the pound-for-pound rankings. Meanwhile, Stephen A. Smith strongly defended Crawford, calling him the #1 boxer in the world and the rightful king of the pound-for-pound conversation. He also pointed to Crawford's achievement in the four-belt era, where he cemented his legacy by becoming an undisputed world champion.
Terence Crawford is the best fighter on the planet. Pound for pound, he's that dude. In this four-belt era.
In addition, Oscar de la Hoya praised Floyd Mayweather Jr. by saying he was the greatest trainer he had ever worked with. He also explained that if Mayweather were ever to face Terence Crawford, Floyd would completely adjust his approach, evolve his technique, and return with an entirely refreshed version of himself. According to de la Hoya, that ability to constantly adapt is what separates Mayweather from everyone else and proves just how exceptional he really is.
Floyd, for me, is the best trainer I've ever had in my life. He would revitalize his style. He would make him a new fighter. That's how great Floyd is.
At the same time, Max Kellerman explained that when Floyd Mayweather Jr. was in his prime, he stood above Terence Crawford as the more complete defensive boxer. Kellerman also noted that Crawford holds the edge offensively because of his aggressive creativity and attacking ability. Even so, he emphasized that in clashes between elite offense and elite defense, the defensive fighter often comes out on top.
Because I think Floyd at his best was a better defensive fighter than Crawford. Crawford's a better offensive fighter, but in those kind of matchups, I think defense usually beats the offense.
In addition, Robert Garcia acknowledged that Terence Crawford made history by becoming undisputed during the four-belt era against elite competition in his prime. Even with that accomplishment, Garcia admitted that in a head-to-head matchup, he would still lean toward either Floyd Mayweather Jr. or Manny Pacquiao. Despite that opinion, he still considers Crawford one of the greatest fighters of all time.
Mayweather never became undisputed. He's a 5-division champion, but never became undisputed. Never really followed that unification, stuff like that. So I think when it comes to accomplishments, I think he's already done more. In a fight, I'd probably still pick Mayweather. Both in the prime, I would probably pick Mayweather to win. Just like I would probably pick Pacquiao to win, both in the prime.
Ooh, to beat Crawford.
Yeah, I think so.
Prime for prime? Nice.
Yeah. But is Crawford one of the greatest of all time? 100%. There definitely he is.
Danny Garcia also pointed out that the age gap between Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Terence Crawford makes a serious competitive matchup difficult to justify, especially with Mayweather being nearly 10 years older. Still, Garcia said an exhibition fight between the two would be exciting to watch and would actually make perfect sense as a special event for boxing fans.
It'd be hard. I mean, they're not that separated in age, right?
I think Terence is 38. I think Floyd, I am not sure he's either 10 years older or 12 years older. I don't know if he's 48 or 50.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get the best Floyd, so I don't think it makes sense.
Exhibition would be crazy. Actually.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Exhibition would be crazy, actually.
Yeah, I think that'll make a lot of sense.
Errol Spence Jr. explained that Floyd Mayweather Jr. separates himself through his brilliant ring IQ, tactical approach, and all-time level talent inside the sport. Because of those qualities, Spence considers Mayweather one of the greatest boxers ever to step into the ring.
It makes a little difference because, Floyd is different. I feel like he's the best fighter. I don't know about all time. He might be the best fighter all time. If not, he's close 2-3, and not by far. So it's it's a little bit different things that Floyd does, and Floyd was a lot older when I sparred him, and it's just certain things that he does that, you know, that's real tricky. Like the guy we get in the clinch, he was like squeezing my nose and so I couldn't breathe and stuff like that. So it's just certain things that he do in there. It's just vetting stuff, just vetting the all-time type stuff he was doing when I was part of it.
He also mentioned that a matchup between Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather Jr. is something fans can only speculate about. Still, he emphasized that Mayweather's mental approach, confidence, and ability to control opponents psychologically gave him an advantage that very few fighters could ever match.
Like Floyd would beat Crawford, would you think? I know that's just a fantasy matchup.
Man, I don't know.
I'm reaching, you know.
I don't get into all that. Yeah. I don't know who went out. Sugar Ray Robinson and Floyd. You know? I don't know, man.
But for Floyd was the best work, just like mental games, everything.
Yeah, yeah, mentally, he by far, I feel like he's the best. He's the best mentally.
Coach Bernie said that if Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Terence Crawford had faced each other at their absolute best, he believes Mayweather would have earned the victory. According to Bernie, Floyd would slowly wear Crawford down with sharp jabs, accurate hooks, damaging bodywork, and elite defensive skills before fully taking control of the fight during the championship rounds.
Just hypothetically speaking, just looking at, you know, two fighters, you got Floyd and you got Crawford in their prime. Who you picking?
Can we all give an opinion on that?
Yeah, you want to?
Yeah, I got an opinion on that too.
Coach, what you think?
I'm listening to you, Rep.
Floyd versus a prime Mayweather. We can go Pretty Boy. We can go Money May versus Terence Crawford in his prime. Who we got?
I think Money May would have shut Crawford down. He would have bored him to sleep like he do these fighters.
Yeah.
He would have jabbed him, hooked him, sticking in the body. You know what I'm saying? And then when the fighter swing back, Floyd nowhere to be found. So mentally, they're draining.
Yeah.
And about the 6th or 7th round, that's when you start picking up, putting the combination together. Money May.
Luke Thomas pointed out that Terence Crawford reached elite status later than many other great fighters, but he still considers Crawford one of the most intelligent defensive boxers the sport has ever seen. Thomas explained that Crawford has a rare ability to cut off movement, control distance, and shut opponents down regardless of where they try to move around the ring.
This is the problem with Bud's career, right? It bloomed kind of late. I find Bud to be as defensively sound as I've ever seen a fighter. He can find you. There's nowhere to hide with him.
Like Floyd, he has such control over the terms in there. It's just insane.
Ryan Clark described Floyd Mayweather Jr. as the defining fighter of his era, saying he consistently outclassed opponents through superior technique, sharp ring intelligence, and elite mental toughness. He added that during the 2000s, Mayweather established himself as the clear benchmark of dominance in boxing, leaving a lasting mark on his generation.
I say that Bud is extremely skilled, right? Yet not as skilled as Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather made people look foolish, right? And so if I had to say who's the greatest I've seen, and Bud said it, right? The best of an era and the best of an era, it's Floyd. But when I watched Bud against Canelo, there was this extreme skill on display, and there was a level of crazy that's different. There was a level of, and Floyd's extremely tough. Go back to Shane Mosley and the 2 punches he landed early in the fight and the way that he embarrassed him. I'm not saying that Floyd's not tough, Floyd's not a bad man, but there was domination inside that ring we saw this weekend.
He further added that Terence Crawford has since proven his own legacy by stepping up in major fights and delivering dominant performances against top names such as Errol Spence Jr. and Canelo Alvarez. According to him, those victories highlight Crawford's bravery in taking high-risk challenges and confirm his status as an elite-level talent in boxing.
There's no fear in him in the way that he's attacked gaining notoriety. Bud's been the baddest man for 12 years, but no one gave him credit because he didn't go tell you he was the baddest man. He didn't market that. He just went out and fought and beat people and knocked people out. So he had to move up and take the bigger fights and the better fights. And he was Errol Spence. We realized just how great he was. Canelo cemented him on what is the two-headed monster that marks the greatest of the 2000s. Floyd Mayweather is on that, and Bud Crawford is right next to him. I don't think we have to pick on who's better. I think they both dominated their eras.
Max Kellerman also noted that while Floyd Mayweather Jr. holds the more extensive and accomplished resume overall, Terence Crawford has demonstrated a stronger willingness to face any opponent without hesitation.
Like, if you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff. But Floyd picked and chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight. He wiped out the junior lights, bring him. Lightweight, he jumps up to Jose Luis Castillo first thing. A lot of people think he lost the first fight, then I didn't, but then he won the rematch. But once he left lightweight, he was careful about when he fought guys. So even though his resume is deeper with names, people remember, yeah, but he didn't want it with certain dudes at certain times. Crawford, we all witnessed, even though the resume is thin in certain ways, he wanted it with everyone the whole time. Oh, yes. That makes a difference to people.
Jeff Mayweather pointed to Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s win over young Canelo Alvarez as a strong example of Floyd's elite ring intelligence and mastery. He also acknowledged that even in defeat, Canelo displayed clear potential early in his career, which later developed into his rise as a top-level fighter.
You know, Canelo at that time was a razor-thin decision. Floyd won, majority decision. C.J. Ross had it with what a lot of people had as a draw. And then the other two judges scored it for Floyd, of course.
Yeah, nobody had it.
And that was a Floyd at the top of his game with a very green Canelo with very little experience, and he took him, into deep waters. So
what was Canelo? What, 20-something? 20 what? 23, 25?
Yeah, he was. Very, very young in the game, obviously.